Hi, you guys, it's Wendy coming to you with a project share. This is kind of a special commission piece, special in that one of my old friends from grad school contacted me and asked if I would do a journal for him. And I think originally maybe he didn't know that the insides were as they typically are, which is basically kind of a collection of a bunch of different papers. He basically specified, hey, can the insides be blank? And I kind of laughed and said, hey, yeah, none of them are usually blank. But anyway, the whole premise was that I said I would guarantee, basically every other page or pretty close to would be a writing surface. So other than that, I had free reign, and this is what I came up with. I decided to alter a book called Reasons to Be Glad. It seemed like a good thing to have that reminder or kind of inspiration given our times. And then the cover is basically just a collage of sorts of the different sort of neutrals that I used inside. And then on the back side, I've got kind of a continuation of that collage. Kept the tassel pretty simple. It can certainly be unclipped. I've got this weird reasoning that not like gender is a thing with tassels, but I tend to think that fabrics and notions and things like this are kind of on the girly side, but I chose kind of, not only really neutral colors, but also, no laces, and just tried to make it, some of them are shoelaces and a lot of it's twine and different things. So in my mind, that makes it okay. It can also be taken off if need be. But anyway, just figured I would share this with you guys. So as backstory, the two of us met in grad school, and we both have our MFA in poetry. And Miles has gone on and has taught this entire time and is a published writer and does really well for himself. But anyway, I wanted to create something that would be something I would want for my writing space. And so I wanted it to be things that are inspiring. And also I think that the things that are interesting to me anyway are the things that are kind of oddly evocative and sometimes weird or strange. So anyway, that was kind of my inspiration for it. So just lots of interesting images. This, for instance, is a time-lapse sneeze art project. So that was kind of cool. I've got these little baggies where there are little writing papers inside. A shelf full of books. This cool parrot. This is from a children's book, and I think it's kind of teaching them probabilities. It's a bit of a game of what they're gonna get. I mean, obviously it's checkers related as well, but also kind of learning inspired, of course, and not just a game. We have this National Geographic on teeth. That's what I mean by kind of odd. I find the odd evocative. Here we have this drawer that's got a bunch of random things, which of course one of is absinthe, so I thought that was kind of cool. We've got this little card here, and it's kind of a funny card. So it says confit, and then it's got the definition, which is basically preserving meat by salting it and then cooking it in its own fat. And then humorously, it says you're glistening like a morsel of confit. So I thought that was kind of fun. Lots of interesting kind of site-specific things. This is talking about 4 miles from Naples, ash from the 1780 eruption preserved the footprints of 2 people fleeing the volcano. Stuff like that I decided to put in here. I've got a Pablo Picasso painting. Lots of clocks. This old man who, this book is a series called Foxfire, and it's basically young kids going out to older folks and doing interviews and having the older folks teach them how to do something. And this guy was teaching him teaching the younger person how to not only play the banjo, but to make the banjo. So I thought that was kind of cool. This is a bog person. That was kind of neat. This is some sort of fiber optic wire looked at microscopically so you can see all the layers. Grasshopper. This is kind of the beginning of our language. This scene, which is some sort of medical scene where the person's hand is being held. Lots of spaces for writing. This old Sears Roebuck catalog, I think it's from the 1940s or the 1930s, and it's pens. Lots of the papers are end papers from books and title papers. Lots of spaces for writing. Apparently one of his quirks with writing paper is he prefers it unlined. I'm a lined kind of gal. So I did use lots of those end papers. Got some old black and white photos with their really cool deckled edges. This cool owl wing. Lots of texture. This is from a home decorating book, and each of the kind of chapter pages are made up of the actual element that it's talking about. So I thought that was kind of cool. Here's another end paper. And you can kind of see that the cool part about using end papers is that you get a deckled edge, you get some of the aging, lots of cool stuff. Here we have this canary being cared for. Got the guy with the stethoscope. This little girl who is apparently playing with the end of a snake tail. Title page. There's in National Geographic magazines, one of my favorite features, and I don't think they're still doing it, but it used to be the very end page of the National Geographic, and it always had these odd little snapshots and kind of historically what they were all about. So this is one of those. This is one of those. Just really like those pages because I'm a nerd. We've got some paper that's showing the ends of some cut wood. And Jupiter. Little card and flip out I made. John Muir. Got a volcano. Death Valley. Some more teeth. I must have been into teeth when I was making this up. These are all envelopes I've repurposed from the National Geographic. Got this fellow who's relaxing in his outdoor shower. Pretty cool. This is from a Be Fit book. And we've got this couple who's just really, they're working out together in their cool little leotards. Goals, you know. Some bread. Just because we're both writers and both, I think, just in love with words, I included some of these, they're probably for elementary or junior high, probably elementary school type books, and they're learning sounds basically. And so I like to use things like these, and I'll actually use them, like I'll make myself use X number of words, or sometimes it kind of suggests a situation to me, so I included a couple of those. Got magazine ads, again, title papers, got these bats, lots of writerly things. Spaces to write, envelopes to catch little trinkets and things in. This cool wrestling photo. This is cool. This is from, of course, my favorite books are the Childcraft books, and I mine them regularly. And on the back there was this ad basically for a cyclo teacher, and it's basically like a Viewmaster, and with learning stuff on it, educational stuff. I probably would have hated that as a kid, but it's kind of fun to think about. I think this is just a element from a totem pole. We've got this fish peeking out. Envelope. This is from a children's book on poetry. So we've got one poem kind of tucked in here by Stephen Dunn. This kind of scary children's book image of this poor little monkey who is not aware at all, and he's going to get scooped up by this terrifying bird. So that was kind of fun. This, which is from a children's book, and the whole premise is he has taped these cameras. He actually has taped a camera and what looks like a mouse trap. And it's a little note that says, please don't remove these things. And then he's trying to take pictures of wild animals. So kind of love that. Quote by Walt Whitman. This beautiful black and white picture of the female form. Blank card. Some tracks in the mud. Some of the kids' books have got these little the words that are basically going to come up in the chapter, and I think those are also really good for writing exercises. Here's an end paper from a Danielle Steele poetry book. Hopefully Miles will think that's kind of funny. These little clear critters. Kind of a driving into the sunset kind of a photo. If you don't know who that is, you're probably too young for my journals. This is from a book on schematics on how to build Ferris wheels. A word search. This is from a 70s book on how to exercise, and it's all these kind of group togetherness type activities where they're doing fun things in some sort of local park. Old Lang Syne, sheet music. More of that children's book that's got the, you can only imagine like in today's age when we're dealing with Corona, seeing like plague and vague, just something like that might trigger you to try and figure out how those words are related. But that's the kind of stuff I threw together. This is on a psychology book. And the whole premise behind the psychology book is figuring out how a blind person can be put through this little obstacle course, and kind of they have a sense of when there's something in front of them without actually touching it or seeing it, obviously. Just oddball things. This is from a science fiction movie where they were, in 1929, they were being outlandish and futuristic by thinking about a rocket ship. Pretty cool. And this orangutan eye is beautiful. Title page from Reading EKGs Correctly. I've got a clock or a watch advertisement and Gertrude Stein postcard here. Black and white photo and a card that he can write in. Magazine ad. Just a little photo of I think this is actually an insurance advertisement, and it's on how not to be stressed out if you get into a wreck. So, don't chain smoke cigarettes, just call your insurance company kind of a thing. Got these two hoodlums. This beautiful feather that's kind of trapped in the surface. A dinosaur page, and I just liked the way that this wording was. Someday you'll want to read more of the story than fossils tell. Beautiful, beautiful line. A hand reading Braille. Some more work with words. Another postcard here. And this is kind of cool. This is from a book I've inherited over the years, and it's the Minnesota Test of Creative Thinking. And you basically have a little checklist. It's 3 pages long, and it says, figured out a way of improving the way we do something, solved the problem, found out about the history of my city or community. So, you know, in case Miles is bored, he can look at this 3-page list and maybe, you know, get on it with some of those tasks. But anyway, so just decided I wanted to show you what I had been up to. And of course, I'll be back with more and different projects, but hopefully you're doing well, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.